the success in angel investing has come from the relationship that you've built. And you talked about a few things where you say yes more than no, and you try to be as helpful as possible to others. And Rohit, let's say if someone is just starting out, about to graduate from college, how should one think about relationship building? I like this one quote, move from deal friends to real friends as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's a tough one because a lot of people ask the question on networking and how should we think about. Look, at the end of the day, there's a book by I don't remember who the author was. It was called Give and Take. A very well written book in the sense it's very practical. It is not preachy. And it said that being relationships begin with giving. And most young people when they're out, they don't know. They think sometimes that I have nothing to give. But everyone has something to give. So, for example, if I'm just making this up. Let's say Shiva, somebody sees your Instagram post. Now you may be busy, you may not have time to think about it. Could you make it better? And just imagine a college kid just takes that post, does it much better, which they're very smart at doing, sends it back to you. It may have taken like 15 minutes because they anyway are good at a lot of this stuff, right? And you'll say, wow, this kid is special. Let me speak to him. So a lot of people write in saying, I have this cool idea. Honestly, while I want to respond to each one, it's physically impossible. Because I think anytime I have to reply to that cool email versus spend time with my daughter, that's an easy trade off. I will spend time with my daughter. But if there's intriguing stuff you've done and you're telling me about it, people like interesting people. Being interesting is a phenomenal advantage, which doesn't mean being weird because people take it to the extreme and say, I must be weird to be interesting, right? It means like exactly what I told you about, right? An example. There's a million ways you could interesting. Tell me about. If you think you're going to do clean tech, for example, rather than say it's a 100 billion opportunity, 1 trillion market, those things I know. I don't even know that 1 trillion number is correct or not, but I don't care, right? It's large enough. That's all. It's good, and you don't need to sort of prove that thesis. But what is the problem? What have you done at a small scale? Have you done something about it? Have you learned something? Can you share that learning? Why you think it's an advantage? So I invested in a young guy out of Noida. Uh, we put a very small check. I think he's still trying to figure out the funding. But he came to me with the problem of house helps in India, right? Which, by the way, is a 15-20 billion dollar market. And it's a tough market. Everyone avoids it in an organized scale because it has got its own vagaries of managing, huge workforces, etc. But his insight on the problems of house helps and why there's lack of stability were just phenomenal. The guy had spent tons of time with those people, living their lives, understanding their problem, had three ideas. Even when I knew this is a very, very tough market to nail, not from a size standpoint, but just from a complexity and profitability standpoint, we still went ahead and put a small check to allow him to, uh, run for 3-4 months and see where he can take it. But just happened purely because of how good he was in explaining his own learnings and what happened when he sort of went deep into the subject. At least you need to be at that level to be able to hope to raise money. Else, just writing in doesn't help. So be interesting. Offer help in small things. Just do it for somebody and send it across, right? And share your work rather than your words is the three things I'll say.